Hello, this is Andrea St. Amand. Today we are going to talk about the hero's journey, but more importantly, the pain points that come up in the hero's journey. So the first thing I'm going to do is define what the hero's journey is. It's an idea that came about by a man, Joseph Campbell, and he defined this thread that exists in all great stories, all the stories that we're really drawn to. Think Harry Potter. But they are the thread of a story that goes through our lives. And he broke it down. So his version of the hero's journey has these stages. There's many more little stages in between, but the major stages are a call to adventure, uh, entering the unknown. So think about Harry Potter as being the quintessential hero's journey. Call to adventure, he's being invited to Hogwarts, right? He's entering into the unknown. Then the next stage is challenges and temptation. The stage after that is slaying the dragon, and we're going to break each one of these down. But slaying the dragon is typically like, it's our biggest fear. It's the biggest thing we need to conquer. And then it's sort of death and rebirth. Like once you've slayed the dragon, with all the losses and wins that are part of slaying the dragon, the old you has died, and a new, stronger you emerges. So you're transformed. And the last part of that hero's journey is that you return home. You return back to the village. And when you return, you're returning a wiser, much more experienced person. And then it's time for you to share all the knowledge that you've gained on your hero's journey. And then, of course, you actually start the hero's journey all over again. So in real life, a hero's journey could be something like deciding to get married. That's a big leap. Or deciding to have a child, or deciding to embark on a career or a new career. And you can imagine that same cycle going with any of those situations. So those situations are socially acceptable. So think about the situations that any of you watching this, the situation that we're in is embarking on something that is not necessarily socially acceptable. So let's break all that down. The hero's journey is in the abstract a very romantic notion. It's in the realm of Star Wars and Harry Potter, and it makes for great story. It makes for great entertainment. But in real life, it's hard and painful and takes a tremendous amount of courage to keep plodding forward on that journey. So the first pain point is in the title itself, the hero's journey. It is owning that you are a hero. You are the hero in your life. That's a thing. On one hand, yeah, it's a cliche. It's like, oh, yeah, if I don't live my life, nobody else will. But on the other hand, like really owning that you are the creator, you're the hero, you are responsible for everything in your life. That puts you in a space of tremendous empowerment, but it also requires you to take on a lot of responsibility. And the flip of that is, and that's where most people live, there is that I am not the hero, I have no control over my life, and people in that situation are just reacting to everything around them, which puts them in a state of disempowerment and victimization, and living a life that seems like life is happening around them but not happening to them, but they're not really participating in it, or they're participating in it just by being reactive. So the hero's journey is the opposite of that. It's really owning that this is your life. This is your life. So you are the hero in it. If you're not the hero, nobody else is. Oftentimes we're also the anti-hero and the villain in our own lives too. So that's part of the hero's journey. But the first step in the hero's journey, after you've acknowledged you're the hero, is the call to adventure. And I think that is the next biggest step. If you're going to embark on this journey, it's that call to adventure. It's that call, that calling of, I need to change. I need to step out of where I am right now and do something different. And the examples I gave earlier of getting married, that's a big change. Very socially acceptable, but it's a big change. Or deciding to have a child, that's a call to adventure. For us, sometimes the call to adventure is I am going to accept how weird I am. I'm going to accept how creative I am. And I believe that all of us are weird and creative, by the way. Every individual on this planet, you just got to accept it and embrace the calling. But that breaking the inertia of our comfortable lives and heeding the call to adventure is a pain point. Because most of us aren't going to change until where we are becomes so painful we can't take it anymore, and we're willing to venture into the unknown. We're actually willing to become Harry Potter and drive our carts into a brick wall and hope that it miraculously opens up and there's another platform waiting for us, right? So that's a pain point. So anybody watching this, though, I commend you because you've probably already taken that call to adventure. And you're there. You're like, okay, now what? Well, now you're in the unknown. And the unknown is exactly what it sounds like. The unknown is like, oh, what have I done? What is everybody going to say? What's my family going to think if they knew? I can't tell them. What's my spouse going to think? Okay, my spouse is supportive right now, but he's not really, what's up? Am I up for this? That's a pain point. Do I actually really have what I think I have? I think I know some stuff sometimes, but could I develop this skill? So think of Harry Potter going to Hogwarts. I think I'm magical, but I'm not really sure. And there's all these unknowns. So all of this stuff comes up. And the ultimate question is, will I fail? Will I try this and just flat out fail? Those are legitimate pain points in the hero's journey. The next step, you keep on going through that magical dark forest into the unknown. You keep walking, and the next things that arise really are challenges and temptations. And the temptations are always to run back home, run back to where it's safe. The challenges are the people that you thought were with you are now like overwhelmed, or your family who was supporting you isn't really supporting you, or they are supporting you, but they kind of don't know how. Your spouse might be like, yeah, I thought this was kind of a cool thing, but now that you're serious about it, I don't know what to do with you. And my husband has a joke when I went on my path, like out there, finally after months, I was trying to explain to him, because I'm all into quantum theory, and I was saying, no, it's science, or at least it's theoretical science, and here's like the first dimension, the second dimension. I'm talking about all these dimensional theories of quantum theory. And finally one morning he just woke up and he goes, okay, I'm going to be with you to the 9th dimension, and after that, I'm drawing a line. Nothing beyond that. And the 9th dimension in quantum physics, I can't even wrap my head around. So anyway, that's a joke in our house. But it illustrates a legitimate pain point with so many people where your spouse is kind of supportive, but they don't even know what to say to you. That's a pain point. And the reason I would say that we don't get full-on support by everyone around us when we go off on this hero's journey is that the hero's journey is something you take alone with support. But the people in your life who've always been there, what you're doing when you go embark on your own hero's journey is illuminating their own calling, illuminating that they have a hero's journey to undertake too, and they might be in a different spot in it. They might not be ready to take it. So that becomes very threatening to them. So then we begin to feel kind of isolated. So isolation is definitely a part of what we go through and what we experience. And then the far end of that is you get your haters. You definitely get your haters. And my sense of that is definitely don't react to the haters. They can't listen to you. They can't hear you. Don't even talk to them. But I got one today. He was this little hater. He was more of a snarkier. And I actually enjoyed it. I had somebody stop and make a point of sending me some links and stop on my Facebook page. But it was almost humorous. And I just said, thank you very much. This person actually took time to send me some energy. And I said, thank you, and didn't respond and moved on. But that's part of the pain points of our hero's journey. And then the biggest pain point, if you're still on the journey and you haven't run back to the safety of home, is slaying the dragon. And slaying the dragon means it is going to be the thing for you at that moment that you have been running away from the most. And I know what my slaying the dragon is. It took forever, and I'm outed. I'm good and outed. Like, I talk about weird stuff on the internet publicly, and yet there's still areas of my spirituality that I'm like, I can't really, like, I'm not really good at that. I don't really, I kind of tuck under the rug. So at some point, that's going to be the thing that I've got to own and be like, yeah, this is what I do. And I'm going to do it publicly and do it for clients, but I'm not comfortable there yet. So that's my slaying the dragon. But we all have them. We all have that slaying the dragon. But once you get there, and it all comes in phases, you end up transformed. You really do. And then it's going back to the village, because at that point you have a responsibility to give others what you've learned in a responsible way. And then they can go on their own journey with your knowledge. And then you'll probably start your hero's journey all over again. But this, the hero's journey, I think, is a great metaphor and a great framework for us to work in, to understand this is a human experience. This is a human adventure. We're not crazy. We can kind of figure out where we are on this journey and know that we're constantly going to be taking it. We might be in multiple places at once, but it gives us like a nice kind of comforting framework to work in, and we don't have to go it alone. So think about Harry Potter, or think about Star Wars, or whatever your favorite big adventurous movie is. They're all following the same plot device. So none of those people go through things alone. At various times they get various guides and different teachers to push them through. So when you are ready to have a guide on your own hero's journey, reach out to me, private message me. I work with people in many different ways, and we're all on this journey together, and I would love to hear what yours is and share yours with you. So congratulations for you for even listening to this video and being on your own journey and actually acknowledging it and owning it. All right, bye.